Myrick?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Mr. Myrick, good morning. It's I've got this set for a pretrial. Now, I have a note here that said that you were not interested in court-appointed counsel, which is fine. Um, uh, so basically, at this point in time, it's a pretrial. So I would set you up with a breakout room with the prosecutor to see, what their, if they have any offers or what their story is. I just want to make sure when you go in there, like you don't have an attorney with you and they're the attorney on the other side. They may give you an offer that you like, and that's fine. But I just want to make sure that that at any point in time, if you don't, like the way the conversation is heading, if you change your mind and you do want to come back and ask for an attorney, just come back and let me know. Okay.
Okay. Before I get into the breakout, Your Honor, I do want to address we are in the pretrial stage, and in the arraignment stage, I was entered a plea involuntarily. So I would love to have an ample amount of time to draw a meaningful defense. If anything, there was some questionable things that the last judge mentioned that I haven't found at all as far as a statutory jurisdiction. But I would like to have time to draw a meaningful defense as well.
Okay, so do you not want to meet with the prosecutor then?
Well, I don't think it's completely prudent right now, simply because we haven't technically went past the arraignment stage of this process. I feel as if my due process has been violated. Fifth and 14th Amendment. I didn't enter a plea, and here we are in pretrial. So I would like to kind of digress a little bit and have at least enough time to develop a meaningful defense.
Surprisingly, this man sounds rather intelligent. Wait, who am I kidding? He's a sovereign citizen. He went down a sovereign citizen rabbit hole and fell for it wholeheartedly. So how intelligent could he actually be?
Okay, I guess I'm a little confused. So you had an arraignment date, and
Yes.
at that arraignment date, did you refuse to enter? Did you refuse to enter a plea? Because that's the time where a plea of some sort has to be entered. So at that point in time, did you, of your own volition, say, I'm not saying anything at all?
Well, that wasn't totally the case, but I didn't have understanding of what court I was in, and I didn't understand if it was a criminal jurisdiction, civil jurisdiction, and based on the at least the federal laws for sure, we didn't come up to an understanding. So.
Okay, so were you in? So just so I understand, were you in custody at the time you were arraigned? Were you in custody?
No, sir.
Okay, so how did you know how to even zoom in and get here?
Say that again, Your Honor.
How did you know, like, for the arraignment, like, oftentimes when there's an arraignment, that happens when someone's been arrested and they're sitting in custody, okay, or if they've received a ticket or some sort of notification. So you just said to me that you didn't even know what court you were in. So I just want to know, like, how did you know how to get here? How did you know how to zoom in? Because the Zoom information contains all of our, like, what court it is, what magistrate, like, all that's contained in there. So I just, how did you know otherwise?
No, I did receive a ticket, and I got notice. But what my issue was appearing here on special appearance today, and I needed to get understanding of what jurisdiction I was in.
Okay. All right. So because I definitely want to make sure that people know where they're supposed to be. So I think I'm looking at the same ticket that you had. So it says on the ticket, 44th District Court, Royal Oak. And then the court address is on there. And then you said that you received notice. So the notice that went out, it would have had the Zoom instructions. Again, Mr. Myrick, as you can imagine, we are, I'm always very concerned in making sure people have the proper notification and all that. So it does appear that, I mean, you're here a second time. The only
Yes,
thing
sir.
that I was, you know, now looking at the file here, you were ordered to post a bond and you didn't. Now, that was, I'm reading the notes here. It says, there was a bond of 1,000 cash surety, no 10%. So $1,000 bond was expected to be paid within 48 hours. Now, Mr. Meyer, we're here today. You showed up on time. So one of the reasons that a bond is ordered is, one, for the safety of the community, and two, to a secure appearance. Well, you come here a second time, and so I am very comfortable that you are going to continue to show up. So I, at the very least, for you, Mr. Myrick, today, as long as you continue to abide by the expectation that you'll show up, and you have twice now, I'm going to actually amend that bond. So that even though you were supposed to do
Thank
it
you,
within
Your
40 hours and you didn't, okay, the fact that you showed up here again, at least to me, is enough evidence to suggest that I can count on your appearance going forward. So
Thank you, Your Honor. That's righteous.
I'm going to amend the bond to a personal bond. Okay, remember, that's not a cash bond. It's just your personal promise that you'll continue to show up for court dates as you have so far. So
Yes, sir.
I'll amend this to a 1,000 personal due to defendant's multiple on-time appearances.
This judge is being very fair with this sovereign citizen, yet let these sovereign citizens tell it. The courts are unjust and they never have a fair chance. This video proves that everyone gets a fair shot in court, whether sovereign citizen or not.
And what I'm ultimately asking, Your Honor, is that if I can have more time to, I don't have any discovery. I don't have any. I don't have what I need to assess to move forward. So if I can have more time.
I have no problem adjourning the pretrial so that you could do some more information gathering.
Yes,
Just to let you know, Mr. Myrick, again, like our court, as you can imagine, with 696-75 Woodward, we have a lot of traffic misdemeanors that come through this court. And one of our signature programs that we've been doing for the last 8 years is, trying to really help people, because I would imagine that you pay attention to the challenges of the Metro Detroit area and public transportation issues and people's ability to get around, and how many people over time have got themselves in the cycle of they have to drive, but they pick up a ticket and they can't pay that ticket, so their license gets suspended and they get stuck in the cycle forever and ever and ever. Okay. Well, in our Operation Drive program, what we've done over the last, now we're in the last 8 to 10 years, we're keeping stats since March of 2016. So in the last 9 years, we're over 1,700 licenses restored. So that's something that we try to do, is make sure that we inform, educate, get people the information that they need, which, Mr. Myrick, you could probably imagine, for years and years, the court system hasn't been great about letting people know even where to start, how to get their license. So in the meantime, while you're doing your investigation, I at least want to let you know, bear with me. I just have to, I'm just looking at what's on your record so that you can at least know, because some people don't even know where to start, how to go, or what to do. And the law has changed in a significant way. It used to be that every single little ticket that you'd get would suspend your license. Now it's only a couple tickets here and there that do that. So, okay, so.
I'm very honored, Your Honor, to be in your courtroom. I think you're the one that I've heard so much good news about, good-willed and good-hearted judge that assists the public, to opposed to the opposite. So I truly appreciate your efforts here. Thank you very much.
Well, you're welcome. So, all right. So So just to give you a heads up, I mean, I would imagine that over the time, because I mean, to be fair, it's been a while since you had a license.
Yes.
Um, that that there might be, like this idea that there's a ton of tickets that are holding you up. There's actually only two tickets. Only two tickets that are actually suspending your license. There's one no proof insurance from like 2005, and one from 2000. That one's in Detroit. Okay. Now you might have a number of tickets in Detroit, but basically now you can be surgical in your approach. Instead of having to pay the whole boat, you can pick the one that is suspending your license.
Yes,
Now
sir.
you'll have to ultimately pay them all, but as you know, Mr. Meyerk, it's a lot easier to pay off tickets if you have a job that you can get to reliably without having to pay for Uber, Lyft, all that kind of stuff.
Yes, sir.
And so, or looking over your shoulder all the time, rolling the dice.
Yes, sir.
And so, what we try to do is let's get in there, make a surgical approach, take care of the tickets that are actually suspending you.
Yes, sir.
And then you can get about the business of taking care of the other ones, once you get your feet underneath,
Yes, sir.
So it's there's a 2005 no proof insurance out of Detroit and a 2009 out of Allen Park. Now, if those two are taken care of, all that's left is a 125 reinstatement fee with the Secretary of State.
Oh,
And
wow.
so you've got those two, all right. The 125 reinstatement Secretary of State. Now, since you haven't had a license in a while, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You're going to have to take the written and road test again. But again, after all this time, after all this, energy and frustration with the process to have to sit down and take a written test, I mean, Mr. Myrick, obviously you are aware of your rights and you know how to study and do the work. You pass a written test, no problem. And then the road test, you could take that right away. So
Yes, sir.
literally, Mr. Myrick, again, I'm going to give you whatever time you need, but you're actually probably closer than you've been in 20 years to getting a license. If, again, you decide if that's a priority for you. But again,
It is, Your Honor. It is. And it has been daunting. It has been daunting.
See, I get this, and I get the sense too that so much of the frustration with the process is in so many ways justified. Because Mr. Myrick, that's what I was seeing for years. People were coming in, and basically the system turned individuals who are otherwise law-abiding, hardworking people just couldn't pay a ticket, and then made them feel like criminals, and they weren't. And so what we've been doing, and it's so funny, Ms. Chappelle's here. She's one of my Operation Drive attorneys. I mean, like, that's what we do. We get people back to work. We get people back to, not walking around in a virtual prison. So
Yes, sir.
This definitely sounds like a good program. Hopefully there are a lot of citizens out there taking advantage of the program, because we all know that these sovereign citizens only go down this road because they've lost things like their license, and they wind up in other situations only making things worse. So if this man actually does the right thing, he can get his license back and completely drop the sovereign citizen script, because it doesn't work anyway.
Thank you very much.
So,
Thank you
all
very
right.
much.
So, let me see. One piece of advice that I can give you too is you can actually look up. There's not like some secret judge website. You can actually look up and see how much the ticket is. Can you? Let me do this real quick. I'm gonna chat. I'm gonna send you a chat right now. Just tell me if this pops up on your end, okay?
Okay.
It just say chat. Did that come up on your end?
I did. I do see a notification. I'm going to click it right now.
Perfect. No, I mean, I
Yes,
just want to make sure you can see it. Okay. So
Yes, sir.
if let's see here. Okay, so the 36th District Court, the only challenge I will say though is that because Ms. Chappelle, because his tickets are from his no proof insurance is from 2005, are those going to be harder to look up because they're outside it?
The criminal matters are the 7-year. I can probably still find the 2005.
Okay, because I just want to make sure. I'm going to look this up because I want to see if we can figure out how much that ticket actually is, so that before he leaves today, you know what the.
Do you mind if I grab a pen, Your Honor, so I can take record as you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mentioned? Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Judge, my client's in the waiting room. Miss Henry.
Okay. Perfect.
All right.
Okay. As soon as I finish with Mr. Myrick, we'll call that next. Okay.
I wasn't trying to jump ahead, Judge. I was just letting you.
No, I'm glad. So I guess I'm glad you brought that up because I see her there now, and I'll bring her in, and we can get that going. Okay.
I don't want to get in the way of Mr. Pelly's excellent work today.
Okay. So Mr. Myrick, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, real quick, so you can see. All right. Okay. So can you see this? It should be like it says court case inquiry.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to go back real quick. So I literally just Googled 36 district court case lookup. So again, anybody can do this. All right. And then it got to this screen that says look up case balance. And I clicked on accept view case balance. And then it gives me a register of actions. Okay. So I'm going to try, and I'm hopeful that we still will be able to pull up, at least find out what the balance is on this ticket. Okay, so I'm going to chat to you in just a second that ticket number. See my concern, Miss Chappelli. It's not pulling that up. So let me see if I can pull up the name. See, these are just to give you an idea, Mr. Mark, this is some of the issues that we run into is because people try to track down things, and because of some age of the matters, things like that, it might not be immediately easy to discover. But I'm going to take a look just real quick at some of these outstanding tickets just to make sure. Let's take a look. Come on. Yeah, it says here. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so it only has anything. It looks like to me it doesn't have his old stuff easy to access. Was there a different spelling of your name ever, sir?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. So here's what I want. I'm going to give you. Okay. Remember when I sent you this chat? I'm going to send you the actual ticket number. All right.
Yes, sir.
My only frustration is I can't give you the dollar amount, but traditionally on the no proof insurance, Ms. Chappelli, down at the 36, they usually been a max like 288, right?
It'll either be 288 or 336.
Okay, so there is. Did you get that chat from me right now? It should have come through.
I missed the notification. Can I?
No problem. I'll do it again.
Okay.
This judge is one of the most helpful judges I've ever seen. Good job, Your Honor.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Mr. Sideways is back.
Right. So, and then I'm also going to send you the Allen Park ticket number. Okay. And I don't know, does Allen Park have a lookup, Ms. Chappelli, at all? Do you know?
Yeah, I do. I can try to look it up for him.
So, Your Honor, are these two ticket numbers that you sent me in the chat?
The first one, so the first one I gave you, I did it on repeat. Okay. That's the 2005 no proof insurance out of Detroit. So if you contact Detroit, give them that ticket number and say, or if you even want to show up there, just go and walk in there and say, I'm here to pay this ticket. How much is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then once you pay that ticket, Then they send a clearance to the Secretary of State. Then that's one down. We got one to go. And
Yes,
now
sir.
I'm going to send you the Oak Park, or the Allen Park ticket. And Ms. Chappelle, you'll be able to see this once I send this. I'll just send this in the general chat. If you're at the okay. Do you see that, Mr. Myrick?
Yes. Yes, sir. I do see it. I'm recording it right now. And this is the 2009, right?
Exactly. 2009 out of Allen Park.
And there
Okay.
is a lookup, Judge, but I'm not finding that ticket.
Okay. So, yeah, so it looks like that's the only ticket out of Allen Park. So you should be able to call up there, say, here's my ticket number. I'd like to pay this ticket. Okay.
Okay.
Now, from my familiarity, just so you know as well, like the Berkeley prosecutor, if someone is going to get engaged with our Operation Dry program, usually there's a reduction to a non-traffic misdemeanor, so it doesn't go on your record, doesn't extend it. And so, in addition to you looking into your own defenses and things like that, all the things you're doing will also put yourself in a better position to have a good resolution from the Berkeley prosecutor on this one, even if you decide, okay, well, I don't really have the defenses to this, but I definitely don't want to extend my suspension. I don't want any points to go on my record to push this out further. Okay. All right. But once those two tickets are done,
Whoop,
then
I think I just found it, Judge.
did you?
I think so. This 2009. Is that what we're dealing with from Allen Park?
2009. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, the system's kind of slow today.
That's all right.
All right, so there is a drive-by license, and this is the spelling of the name's accurate. It was an order of a nolle pros regarding a drive-by license suspended, but they still have a $45 fee showing. And then going back, there's 3 separate tickets. And then going back to the second ticket, because Judge, you're thinking it's an NPOI?
Yeah, it should be an MPOI.
All right. Because there
No
are
proof-
3
no proof
tickets, all of
insurance.
which are showing 45s. So let me-
Really?
Yeah. So let me look at the second one. Sorry, it's taking so long.
That's all right. That'd be great
All right.
news because that'd be just $45.
No proof of insurance. This one was a default judgment. It is showing $45. But it is showing a bond that you posted, sir, back in 2009 of $398. I think they took that, so perhaps they applied it to that fee, and they just want the 45. That may be the answer on that one.
So okay. So best case scenario, they'll let you just pay the 45. Okay. Worst case scenario, they'll want the $45 on each of the old tickets, so $135. So best case scenario, 45. Worst case scenario, $135. But that's Allen Park.
Wow, that's great.
And that's 24th District Court, sir, if you're looking it up.
24th District.
And it's interesting because these are very old cases, but the close date on the third ticket is 2017. And now I'm getting error readings. So, but there's just 3. Looks like you had your bond taken on the no proof because perhaps you didn't go back, and that may satisfy that.
All right. So Mr. Myrick, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to bump this out a couple weeks. You get to work chopping away at that kind of stuff. But I will say this. I only want to bump it out a couple weeks because if you get those things done, all right, I want you to come back and see me. We'll be able to run a new driving record. We'll see if by doing that, all right, that they follow through and let the Secretary of State know. Because if they take your money and they don't let the Secretary of State know, then the suspensions remain. And then we can even contact the Secretary of State and just make sure that they know, like, oh, by the way, he paid those.
Right.
And then when you come back here, you can give me an update. But just know, if you've paid those 2 tickets, you should be able to go into the Secretary of State and pay the reinstatement fee and go from there. So what do you think? A couple weeks?
safely to say, I would say 30 days if I can
Fine,
have, if I
fine.
can have the grace.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate you dearly too. Thank you very much.
Welcome. All right, so we'll adjourn this 4 weeks, and we'll send notice again. And then just do me a favor, Mr. Myrick, if you run into issues, I'm gonna send you our direct line here at the court.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
And for example, if you do decide if you're running into issues, I certainly can connect you with Mr. Angot, Ms. Chappelli there. Mr. Angot's our MIDC coordinator. I know that you initially were not inclined to go with assigned counsel, but what Ms. Chappelli's doing today is exactly what would be done. So if you just reach out to us, let us know, like if you're running into brick walls and you say, like, I would like an attorney attached to this case,
Yes,
then
sir.
call us and we'll get it done. So here's the number directly.
Yes, sir.
I just sent it to you. I could just give it to you. It's 248-246.
No, I'm in the chat, Your Honor. I see it. 248.
246-3651.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I look forward to seeing what you can get done, Mr. Myrick. Again,
Yes, sir.
I could tell you are a person of conviction and that you are willing to do what it takes, but certainly have been very frustrated by the way in which the process has worked for the last 20 years. So let's
Yes,
see
sir.
if we can change
Wow.
the narrative here, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I really appreciate that. That makes my heart sing.
All
Thank
right,
you.
good luck to you, sir. We'll send you a note. See you in 4 weeks.
Thank you.
Take care.
Judge,
I